call the Pownal Select Board regular meeting Thursday, November 21st, 2013 at 7 p.m. The agenda approval of minutes 11/14/13, warrants, mail, new business would be Sweet Road signage. Quick talk on street lights I'd like to add there just for a second for the board's consideration. Old business, lawn mowing, health insurance, revisit the personnel personnel policy that we tabled last week because of lack of members. Also, touch base on the board members to vote on reorganization in March. We have a policy when we reorganize. I want to just briefly touch on that. And other than that, announce that there will be no sewer commissioners meeting Thursday, November 28th because of Thanksgiving. With that, I'll take a motion to approve.
I just want to add an old business, a town truck.
Okay, under old business or new business? Old, right?
Old, yeah, it's
Okay.
still the same truck.
Okay, I'll make a motion or something.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the minutes 11/14/13.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Warrants. Payroll 11/17 to 11/22/13 in the amount of $7,266.30. Accounts payable 11/22/13 in the amount of $29,442.26. Some of your larger items in there is Bridge 42 repairs. That's blacktopping down on Main Street, $67.86.22. You got a health insurance payment of $5,500. You have Green Mountain Power of $61.68. And final audit bidding or billing of $3,054. Some of your larger items to bring that one up. Payroll 11/18 to 11/23 in the amount of $811.64. Those are your warrants.
Motion.
You want a second one? You got a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain on
Payroll 11/17, 11/22.
You and Dale. Okay. Okay, mail.
Yeah, you're on AP, right?
Yes. Okay, Town of Pownal, road closed. Main Street will be closed Monday, November 25th, and Tuesday, the 26th, between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. for replacement of railroad track ties and blacktop. Alternate route will be Lincoln Street. That's bridge down on Main Street in Pownal. So plan accordingly. You'll be using Lincoln Street coming out by the old Mac molding.
Just be careful, there's no crossing guards.
Okay. We have a tax status report. And these figures straight. We billed $4,637,512.37. We've been paid back $4,309,978.42. Delinquent $327,533.95. Okay, Bennington County Regional Commission Solid Waste Management Newsletter. Disposing of prescription drugs. Variation of drugs that can be disposed of. If not, through your pharmacy where you've got them. The take-back program, collection, distribution, unwanted medicines to protect the public and the environment. The Bennington County, there are 3 locations listed below. Bennington Police Department on South Street. They have a container in the lobby. Manchester Police Department. And Bennington County Sheriff's, which is on 21 Lincoln Street in Bennington. So you have 3 places you can drop off prescriptions, bottles in their original containers, etc. That is your mail. Okay, new business. Sweet Road. Had a couple calls on the road being a little more heavily traveled. There's more residents up there now. There's been some building going on the last few years. You have a couple more structures up there. You have more children up there, and there are no posted speed limit signs on that road. In saying such, we are not able to have our constable doing enforcement because without a speed limit sign, the speed limit's 55. And our roads are posted at 35 on back roads unless posted otherwise. And that one not being posted, the people that talk to me would like to see 25. I'd say 25 or 35, whichever the board's decision. It's kind of a miserable little road, so
It gets narrow in some
I say
spots too.
25.
I think, I agree with Mike, 25 I think is plenty fast enough for some of the areas on that road.
and we do have the
It was under the
authority.
understanding that we cannot do that.
Well, we can do that. This board can do that. I talked to our road foreman about it, and we
What,
can
we
make
can't
that
set speed
decision.
limits?
We can't set speed limits that are unenforceable. That was what we went through here before, and it was because they wanted to drop the speed limit on South Stream Road. And they said, well, they have to put up them things and see what is speeds that people travel. And if people are all going over what you want to put it on, you can't do it. Now, that was talked about here in a format which I don't think the town has the authority to do that, but I'm just giving my opinion.
According to our road foreman, we do,
Well,
but I would leave it, I would open that door all the way and say, if we do not have the right to do this at 25, we certainly do at 35 because all our roads that aren't posted are 35-mile-an-hour speed limits unless otherwise posted, are back roads.
So
if
how can we find out the legality?
Well, we
of
can
this?
put 35 on that road right now. Because all we gotta do is put a sign there, because that's a back road and our
certain
back
of that.
roads are.
Okay.
That would cover any complications that could arise.
So what you're saying is any speed limit other than what we would normally have as a town,
Our roads are
Standard.
that's right. We could put 35. That's what we agreed upon a long time ago. The speed limit for the town was 35. And that was okay if the road's not posted 35. Now, what I'm saying is we had somebody in here, I don't know if it was the state police, somebody. We had somebody here, and they explained that to us, that in order for, you have to post the speed limit that is enforceable. And in order for it to be enforceable, they usually put something up there. Maybe by looking at that road, they could say, well, that's slow enough, 25 or whatever. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure we can't, just as a board, turn around and say, well, we're going to put 25. We can put suggested signs up of 25. They'd be yellow. The white signs are the enforceable signs. We can't put them up less than, without first a study. That's what it was, a study.
See, we did Center Street, and I don't remember exactly what we did. We did change that to 25. I don't remember the procedure we went on, but we did drop that one to 25. But I don't have a problem with us throwing 35 on there because it's the speed limit.
Well,
And the cars that are going over that are obviously going over 35, or we wouldn't be having this issue right now.
obviously, if there's nothing up there, 35 is better than nothing.
Exactly, because at least that's enforceable at that point.
But I still think that's fast for that road. But
But it's better than nothing, and we can check this.
so who would do that study? The Agency of Transportation, or
Traffic study. They run them things and they set it up. Can't post the speed limit. That was, I mean, it was all gone through. This was a while back. It
Yeah.
wasn't yesterday.
Yeah.
And, but I do recall it, but I don't, and that, because they wanted to drop the speed limit. I'm pretty sure they wanted to drop the speed limit on the lower section of the highway that drops into North Pownal. And they said they couldn't do that because it was unenforceable.
Okay.
They wanted to drop that to 25 because some people had some kids, which I can see the concerns. But you got to have something that you can enforce. And all I'm going by is the procedure we had. We had a procedure, and they said, we'll put that thing up. We'll see how fast they're going. We'll see if it's enforceable. I mean, sure, they're not going to, if everybody come down here 60, they're not going to
Right,
put it at
right,
55.
right? Is that something that the town would have to pay for, to have the Agency of Transportation to come down and?
I don't know. I'd want to visit with Casey again on this because he said we didn't need it. And I didn't know we did Center Street, but I don't know what we did. I think there was a time frame we had to wait. But I'm not sure. But what I would say right now, my
Let's post it at
suggestion
35
would
and
do the
pursue this.
35. Because we do have speed limit 35 signs. Nail them up there. With that, in the motion form, I'd also, if we have any children at play signs, put up on each end also at the same time. Right. And if we're gonna have them drop a couple signs in the ground, we might as well do that too,
Make a motion.
on both.
Yep.
Okay,
I'll second that, but I think we, in a condition that,
we'll look
we
into,
look into the
sure.
25.
rules and regulations on looking and lowering it down.
I think 25 is too bad, but
Yep.
if they're going over 35, they should be stopped.
Yes. Well, at least this gives you,
Well,
it gives Al a tool at the
Yeah.
moment. So, all right, the motion is made and seconded for 35-mile-an-hour speed limit and children at play signs for Sweet Row.
On that note, it probably would be a good idea for the constable while he's patrolling around, and he probably gets to more areas than most of us do on a weekly basis, are there any other roads in town that are not posted that should just,
Yeah.
a small list, so that we're aware of it. And, we could
Yeah,
move
I'm not
forward
sure.
from
I'd,
there.
I'd like to say no, but I'd have been wrong on this one too.
Right,
so-
so,
I'll ask him for the heck of it. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. All right, new business again. We talked about this a long time ago, and I see North Bennington has taken the lead in actually exploring into it. Is there a way, Linda, that we could get GMP down here to talk with them about streetlights? I'd like to see what we're talking about on LED lights, the difference, the replacement, just to see, because our street light bill is budgeted at $22,000. And if we saved a little bit of money in there on these street lights with the new style, it's money.
I don't think you're gonna save it up front because those LED bulbs, from my experience, are quite expensive. For instance, if you have a 60-watt incandescent bulb and you want to replace it with a 60-watt LED, you're talking to buy the 60-watt incandescent at around $10. You're talking $50 to buy that same bulb in LED. So I just want you to be prepared. I think it's a great idea. The
Long-
upfront cost.
Right, up front.
It's like anything, you kind of want to do today with energy, whether it's solar, wind, or whatever.
Right.
There's an initial investment
There's a long-term
in order to get
payback.
that payback.
Right.
On the plus side of that LED lighting is most of them last for 5 to 10 years, which last a lot longer than your
Right.
mercury vapor or whatever that have probably a 1 to 2 year
Yeah.
lifespan. So
See, my thoughts on that were, if we could talk to somebody that's in the know on that,
right,
and when we replace some of these, when they do go out, if we actually replace them at that time with that,
right.
if that was an option that we could do,
No, it's definitely a
you
good
know,
idea.
just to experiment with it. It's something we did talk about a few years ago, and when I read the paper this morning, seeing North Bennington was looking into it, I said, geez, you know, we talked about that once and we dropped it.
Probably be
so-
a good idea.
It wouldn't hurt to just bring it up again to see where it stands. Okay, good. Thank you, Linda, if you'll do that. Old business. We have a lawn mowing issue that I would like to bring up. It has come to my attention, and we have a piece of lawn between this particular building and Mr. Shields' building next door that is, I won't say weekly, but typically being mowed by other than our hired personnel to do lawn mowing. I believe this is not a good issue for a lot of reasons, which I won't get into all of them, but just insurance-wise, and somebody mowing our lawn is not hired under contract to do such. I believe that should be ceased. There are some reasons behind it. Like I said, one of the simplest ones to say is insurance. So
So who's mowing it?
I would say either Mr. Shields or his wife.
My wife mows it. She mows it when she takes the tractor out of the garage, goes down alongside, then she makes a couple sweeps and then goes in the backyard. She's been doing that for 30 years. Matter of fact, that we even take the town's leaves, shred them.
There are circumstances pertaining to such things which,
How wide of an area are we talking here?
20 feet maybe.
A little smaller than the width of this building.
I don't have anything to say on this. I don't know. You've been doing it for how long?
My wife's been here 30-some years, so about 30.
This is just coming up now.
I'm not bringing it up.
I see the point. There is some issues, insurance issues. That's my opinion, is insurance issues.
Well, if you want, we can go into a short executive session on a legal matter. If you want more information on this.
Well, I know, I never heard of anybody getting sued or anything for mowing somebody's grass. If they went over the edges or whatever. I kinda like it when my neighbor mows a little on me, then that's a little I don't have to mow, but
Something that really should be talked about in legal, or
I believe so. Or I wouldn't have brought it up.
make a motion, we can table this and go in legal after everything else is done.
Okay. Health insurance. All right, no, you made a motion. Do I have a second on that?
Second, table.
To go into executive when we go into the other rest, okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay,
Nay.
health insurance.
Nay.
We have been guess, informed by our insurance agent that we should be moving on this health insurance policy, that we have a fairly good rate. All our employees have picked up the policy of which they're comfortable with, which I believe is the premium platinum. I'm sorry, platinum. And if we move on it now, we've got a better rate than we have had, and it puts us, if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't take effect till January to start,
January 1st.
January 1st. It just puts us up on board now, so.
Linda, you're on this, ain't you?
Excuse me?
You're on the insurance, right?
Yes.
Family plan?
No.
Single?
Two.
Double? Not being nosy, but what's your,
It's 14 something.
that's basically equal to the platinum?
Yeah, in fact, the rate was a little bit lower, if I'm not mistaken, this time around.
Do you want the,
It was 14.
do you know what the contributions are?
Right here.
You know what that breaks down to? Rough fig,
This question.
what it breaks down to, like what percentage? Employee versus town?
Was it pretty near 70%? 68 something.
It's about 34.
3466.
I think Casey had asked the board to look into, if to consider bringing these shares more into line with the other communities.
That's what I'm looking at. Well, the savings, I forget what I just looked at, but for what? This is me thinking, I know we're trying to save money, but I talked to Casey a good time, a while today. For what they're paid, 66% and 34, I believe is a lot of money. I think the town should be paying about 75%, truthfully.
Well, I know a lot of people who work and they pay 50% of their insurance. So I guess I'm on the other side of that coin. I think 66 is pretty generous on
Well,
the
I do
town.
too.
We're getting a break. I mean, if we're paying employees top dollar, I could see it, but
Well, listen, it's a benefit because that's what it is. It's a benefit. It's not a right. It's not a. It's a benefit.
it's a benefit.
Okay. First of all, everybody's going to be struggling with this for the next year or two, and I'm certainly not in favor of jumping the gun here to see how everything with the government health care is going to shake out, and when the dust settles, who's going to be responsible for what. In the meantime, in my opinion, you know, the insurance I'm under just went up again. And that's happening a lot all over where the employees expected to pay more of the freight, not less. And I still think we're ahead of the curve at 66%. Maybe not towns like Manchester, Dorset, etc., but you have to work within a budget, and I don't know. I just think that's pretty generous.
Linda, do you know roughly, that this is maybe 3% lower than what it was?
One of them is paying $171 a week
That's for
family plan.
family.
For what we're paying, that's a lot of money. Hourly.
And I'm sure if you could compare that to a lot of other places, I bet you'd find that's pretty much the standard. I mean,
Or
you know,
more.
yeah, or more, because you know the days of
Yeah, but they're probably getting paid more.
well, you know,
You gotta look at two factors here. Either we pay them more an hour, or we're paying a little bit more in their insurance. Yeah,
well,
pretty soon we ain't got nobody.
oh, there'll be somebody out there for a
Yeah,
job.
there was no fight today.
I think for $26 an hour, you can find a lot of people beating on the door. Crying out loud, you know, the times aren't that great. You know, some people got great jobs, which is fine, but I think it's 2/3 of paying 2/3 of somebody's insurance. That's pretty good. And if you get a family plan, that's why a lot of people, what they do is they get a plan from one of them covers the insurance. So there you are. Now you got it all. So whoever, if the other one's working, well, they ain't paying nothing. So there you are. It balances out pretty good.
Not only that, too, and I'm not saying this in all cases, but in a lot of the cases, both people have insurance, and a lot of the times, one insurance will be your main carrier that picks up the 70% or so, and then what that doesn't pick up, the other insurance does. Now, I'm not saying that's a blanket case for everybody, but you know, it's just like the
It's not
government
a
health
case for
care.
any of our employees.
There's going to be people that fall through the cracks on that as well. But I still think it's 66%. That's
And for a premium plan, some
Yeah.
places they got plans that aren't worth nothing, and they're paying almost 50%.
I mean, we also have the option to drop down in the plan and you know, drop the plan down and pay more for it. You know, but I don't think that's the route to go.
No, from my gathering, the employees preferred this premium plan. The only thing I was looking at was if we were saving 2 or 3% across the board because of the rate reduction that we're getting on this.
I don't think we ought to go there for one reason. This healthcare thing is a floating balloon right now. Nobody knows where it's going. Now, if you raise it up higher, all right, then it goes the other direction. We're stuck for that much more besides. And I don't feel it. I think we ought to leave it alone where it is. And I mean, if we're getting a little deduction, so are they at their 33. It ain't all coming off of us because it's a percentage. It isn't like we're giving them so much money.
And that's what I said earlier. I'd like to just kind of wait this federal health care thing out and see where everything settles in, because it's just so uncertain now. From our point of view, from the employee's point of view, nobody knows how this thing is going. The federal government doesn't know how this is all going to end up. So
State doesn't either.
no, the state doesn't either, and we've got our own healthcare thing going. I just think it's premature, in my opinion, to go on this without seeing what's going to happen nationwide and with the state.
I'm fine with that. Just come race time, you better be ready to pay a little bit more, I think.
Okay, well, we got two different issues there, so
Yeah, it's
let's try to. Okay. We got two issues here. First of all, signing the health insurance, but we got to get the figure out of the way. So, is there a motion to stay with the figure?
I make a motion that we
Percentages.
leave the percentage as it is. What the town puts in is 66, and the employee puts in 34.
Okay, we have a motion, 6634.
Second it.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Nay.
You were what, Dale?
Go with it.
You're going with it? Okay.
Because I agree with Ron, we don't know where this is all gonna settle out and pickle down.
Okay. And
That's the only reason why.
I'm nay, so 3-2. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, do we go ahead and sign up for this policy as we've been informed what we should be doing?
Once we sign it, I mean, they got
Okay.
it covered.
All right, we have a motion.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. There, that's done. Okay, before we revisit the personnel policy, reorganization of the board. In every March, after elections, the select board comes in, new members are brought in and given the ground rules, reorganized chairman, vice chair, et cetera, clerk. We have a regular policy that we go by. What I would like to do, and I think it should have been done years ago, and to my knowledge never was, we should have a notice of the personnel policy for each select board member as they come in. So they are well aware of what the policy is, what it pertains to, so there's no questions. We're working on that new policy. It will be obviously done by then. I believe any new member that comes on board
It's their own copy.
gets a copy of it, so at least they have the understanding and what the procedures are. So they're not
Probably be a
completely.
good idea to give a copy to every board member in case there are revisions.
Right.
Or anything, so.
Yeah, it's
let's include
just
the
keeps
full board in
everybody
that.
up to speed on what's there, so there's not questions, so. I want to make it official, so that a motion,
Make a motion that the entire select board
that's
get a
perfectly
personnel
fine.
policy,
Yep.
after the elections and a board is formed.
At reorganization time. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, very good. Okay. All right, we need to go in for 2 executive sessions now. One very short one on legal, on this lawn mowing business. We will come out with a decision one way that you're putting your,
Are we gonna discuss the town truck before we do that?
oh, I'm sorry, Mike brought that up, all right. Yep, go ahead, Mike, we'll do yours on town truck because,
I was over there talking to Casey today. I actually went over to inspect it and take care of another issue. And lo and behold, they checked prices out and the manifolds. They replaced both manifolds. The truck is whisper quiet. And they plan on using it this winter.
excellent, even better. That's good, that's our money at work, good show.
Cab corners are still all good.
It's a good plow
Had
truck.
Brakes last year. They said if they have to, they'll hire somebody, an extra person to run it if they need to. And they can run the truck.
Not a bad vehicle to have for an extra backup, so, good,
So we're keeping it at the highway department?
excellent. That works for me. Okay. I would,
Can I just ask a question on this too?
sure,
I don't know if, who or if anyone can answer this. Can any one of our town employees drive any one of our pieces of equipment, et cetera? Are we covered blanket on everything, or does it depend on the individual class of truck? I know you have to have a CDL for a certain weight,
Right.
et cetera, axles, all that good stuff. Pickup trucks, 1 tons, et cetera, is that a blanket?
yes,
Yeah.
Any town employee is covered?
yep, under
on
our
that.
policy, yes.
All their licenses go to our insurance company.
Okay, all the licenses go to the insurance company. And is the town transfer station road, is that a town highway?
Town road, yes.
It's a town road? Okay. I just wanted to make sure on that, thank you.
mean the paved road, Rich?
I'm sorry?
No,
No, is the transfer station a town highway?
Oh, where you go down through the.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Or is that considered private property?
No, it's town
Right.
highway.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna bring up that. they did a couple pieces of repair to Chris's truck. The plows are on it, the sanders are on them. They're ready to rock and roll. If we're needed this weekend.
Hopefully they're not,
Yeah, me too.
but it's good that they are,
Salt
yes.
sheds are full, and sand shed is, the sand is ready, and they're pretty much ready.
Excellent. We could have it at any time. Okay, with that, we need a motion going to executive session on our first issue, which will be borderlining legal and mowing, so I need a motion.
Motion going in legal for mowing.
Need a second? Nobody wants a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Abstain?
Abstain.
Nay?
Or nay, I should say, not abstain.
I'm gonna nay it too, I guess. I can't see any sense.
Okay. Three are in, so we'll have a short executive session. And we will return with some sort of an answer within a couple seconds or minutes.
You want me to participate in this?
No,
Or executive session.
no. Ready? Okay, we're back in regular meeting. On lawn mowing on town property. What is a motion that would like to be made?
Make a motion, we ask the person to stop mowing on town property.
Have a motion for town property not to be mowed other than with hired contractors. Correct. Okay. Have a motion. We have a second. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
No.
No.
Okay, could we have a letter drafted to that effect, Linda? So it is official. Okay, with nothing more before us, we have revisit the personnel policy, which will be, and there will be names mentioned of employees in different positions which they hold. In this policy proceedings, we will need to go into an executive session on that also.
Motion
And
going executive.
there should be also a decision if we come up with the rewording of it. So I have a motion,
Second.
I have a second, all in favor.
Get this under wraps and get this out, get this guy done.
Before you shut, have you shut off? No. Okay, just to remind everybody, if they don't come back and we come back and return, that there will be no meeting next week and for everybody to have a enjoyable Thanksgiving.